when I choose a movie for the show, my first reaction should be, the fuck? Really? That's kind of the whole point, isn't it? The synopsis should read something like, The Children's Tale of Love and Gang Rape in Alley Cats Across Pakistan. It's intriguing. I mean, not enough to justify a conversation with your significant other about why you're watching overseas BDSM bestiality when they find it on your Netflix queue, but intriguing nonetheless. But that's why you have me. I'm your proxy to terrible schlock. And believe me, I try to deliver. That's why I picked a movie about aliens being repelled by drunk people. How could I go wrong? Well, I might have. Or maybe I didn't. I guess it's all about perspective. You'll see what I'm talking about as myself, Charlie, Paul, and my brother PT discuss Grabbers.
Who the hell writes things like this? Who's this guy? Why is he here? So we're just cutting to here now. Why not? They couldn't even write the animals well. How does that make any sense? How could he be there now like this? They'll just take her up. What's this guy? People act. Fuck me. What did I just watch?
So, do you guys have the same feeling that I did about this movie? Just, there's like nothing there. There's nothing to really talk about.
I suppose, but there's, like, some things to talk about, like...
Plenty to talk about. You just gotta find it.
Was, yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's the key. You have to fucking find it. If we watched this movie and we didn't know that we were going to do a podcast, would you remember it the next day? Would you be like, what did you do last night? Oh, I saw a movie. What movie?
I think it was called Vanilla Ice Cream. I'm not quite sure. It's very...
Bland tastes like nothing.
yeah.
I think it's more like water ice.
I honestly thought you were about to say Ice Ice Baby or like the Vanilla Ice movie.
Nope, not making that reference. Although I gotta give you credit, Martin. This is the first fucking movie that you've had us watch for the podcast that has a double-digit score from Rotten Tomatoes. So that is...
Whoa.
Yeah.
Double digits. That's 2 digits.
Actually,
They're both bad. No.
This movie gets across the board is pretty much meh.
Yeah.
I mean, Rotten Tomatoes gave it a whopping 72%. Metacritic,
That's too high.
It's got a passing score.
yeah.
It's got a D. It basically is like that paper where you passed.
No, it's a C minus. It's a C minus. He did the minimum amount of effort just to get by, and he graduated.
Yeah.
He graduated with the big boys. This movie cost £4 million, so of course it's funny money.
That's like $20 billion in the U.S.
That sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah,
It was an expensive movie.
I'm no economist, but I'm pretty sure it's $20 billion.
That's a very heavy movie.
It's got a 6.2 on IMDb, which is basically like saying, "Oh, you know what? That was a good try, kid."
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was interesting. Like, it was an interesting. It was kind of a funny concept. It seemed like kind of something that, like, be like, like you're shit faced with your friends. You're like, we should make a fucking monster movie, and the only way that you can kill the monster movie is if you get shit faced, and like that's it. That's the only way to escape.
That's an awesome concept, but it's like they got sober and then they realized, oh shit, we should probably actually make a monster movie.
The movie did have its moments. It did have its funny moments. It did have its moments, but overall, it was fucking boring as fuck.
One thing I noticed that stood out for that is there was like a lot more swearing than I.
You know what's funny? It's like because it's in Ireland, it's like Battlestar Galactica swearing.
it's like
feck.
Or feck or fook. Or,
I realized after watching this movie, I love the word feck. I'm gonna go around and be like, "You fecking idiot." I'm gonna feck your mom. I'm gonna play Call of Duty.
But
basically,
like, if you look at like a movie like Pulp Fiction or any Tarantino movie where everyone thinks that everyone swears a lot, and then you look at this, and they swear a lot.
Wait, what are you talking about? Everyone swears a lot in a Tarantino movie.
Yeah,
exactly, but compared to this, they don't actually swear all that much. Like
Tarantino,
this,
it's vulgar, and this, it's casual.
Yeah, like they just casually like you cunts. Like it's just.
Well, it's a product of where it was made. This is made in Ireland, even though you have British people, Scottish people, Irish people, and they're all just thrown together like, yeah, we all live in Ireland. Yeah, bullshit. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean...
Ireland is a country with people in it.
Yeah, it's pretty diverse.
Yeah.
By diverse, I mean from the island chain.
I refuse to accept that. I will take my racist stereotype. Thank you.
It was one of those movies, too, where you're watching it, and the whole time they're like...
Oh, yeah, there was a lot of that.
What the fuck did they just say? Like, we're speaking the same language, but I felt like I needed subtitles.
I think especially that old man from the beginning was especially like, "Oh, we got a fish in Charlie."
Like, there's an alien or something, I think. I don't know exactly what the fuck is going on.
I found a sea monster.
So this movie is just by the numbers monster movie. In order to just not get bored, which I know you guys did, but did you guys at least try not to by like playing some kind of game?
Oh yeah, I was on my phone playing like a.
No, I didn't mean like that kind of game.
Okay.
I didn't mean I just I just put it down and started playing Candy Crush. No.
Yeah, I was playing Simpsons Tap Out for a while there. But, I played a game. Played a game called Take a Nap during most of the
Did you notice that they had a "They're coming for you, Barbara"?
Yeah, I actually wrote that down.
Yeah.
It seems like that's a new trope. It's like if you see Night of the Living Dead on a TV and they're using "They're coming to get you, Barbara" scene, it's now foreshadowing that that guy's gonna fucking die. And guess what he did? He died. It was an amazing death. Probably one of my favorites in the movie.
Which guy was that? Was that the nerdy doctor guy?
No,
that one. That's the. We'll
That
get
was
to that
my-
one.
that was my favorite
It's
Yep.
he's not
Definitely
gonna
love
hurt
that.
us.
And you just get
a
He
lot
didn't
to
eat
this
you,
guy.
but flicked you.
No. This is the guy who he's like the second kill in the movie where he's going out of his house. Another trope.
yeah.
You know, the trope
it's
of
Crazy John or whatever the guy's name
Yeah,
is.
I'll check this out. I don't see anything, honey. Impaled, taken into the darkness.
The phrase
Well,
they
no,
used
he asked
for it
he asked the guy on the ground. He's like, "Are you okay? Are you all right?"
Sure.
He's hurt. He's like, "Ah!" Fucking thing from the roof
I
gets.
don't know. I might have been
It
masturbating at that point.
uses
So
people it uses people as bait.
which is great. I'm glad that it was on Netflix for free. That was nice.
Yeah,
That's what I
definitely.
liked most about the movie. I
I
think
didn't
was that it
mind
was free
watching
on
the movie.
Netflix.
It didn't hurt.
No, not really.
and that's what everyone else who's seen this movie has said. No one can say anything really positive about it, except it's a B movie. And if they're really into B movies, they're really into this one because it's a B movie that they don't have to justify. I don't know if you noticed, but anyone who's like really into bad movies, like I love watching B movies. It's something I don't know, something snarky. I think I'm better than them. Maybe they're just some fucking hipster who thinks they can actually make a better movie, but they don't because I don't know, Daddy's money is about to dry up.
Yeah.
But B movies can be, fun to watch. It's just
They can
this,
be.
This is just
This
kinda,
just wasn't it.
This is just a movie.
it's just a movie.
And this is what I'm saying is it's very accepting and acceptable. You can watch this and not have to like be like, this is boring me, but I have to pretend like I like it. It's like, I like this and I'm gonna forget it. It's the sci-fi movie that you're watching at 1 a.m. and there's nothing else on. You watch it and the next morning you sober up and forget that you watched TV.
When I looked at the director is John Wright. When I first saw that and watching the movie, I thought it said John Voight, and I was like, really? Well, that's
I did too, actually.
Yeah,
I saw
that's-
that same thing. I was like, wait,
John,
no.
John
never
Voight
mind.
director. Oh, John Wright.
I'd watch it. This movie would be so much better if it was directed by John Voight. Actually, I would imagine this movie done by Edgar Wright. Oh wait, they did it. It was called The World's End.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's based on the same thing. It's just they did it better.
So wait, does that mean are they related?
Don't ever bring that up again. That was insulting. Comparing John Wright to Edgar Wright is akin to the Holocaust.
Great.
Jesus.
Are they actually related though?
But in order to keep myself from getting bored, just because there's really not much to talk about in terms of plot or like what's weird or bad, because everyone has already seen this movie a dozen times. If you've seen Jaws, you've seen this movie.
I knew the instant we saw the female police officer that they were going to get together.
Yeah.
Like instantly,
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, really?" They're.
I like
okay.
that it was by default though. She's kind of going back between the nerdy guy and then him, and then the nerdy guy died, and she's like, "Well, I guess this is love."
Well, also she got shit faced, and so now they've expanded their characters.
Isn't that the start of every great love story? I got shit-faced, and I know that's how Melissa and I met.
Yeah, I actually think that was fine for that's how they met. I thought it was kind of funny. I was like, okay, fair enough. It's believable at least, but
Sure.
the
it was just you knew it was going to happen.
I like too that she was the only single female in the whole town. Like there was that one other broad, and she was
pick up on
married.
At the bar, yeah.
Yeah, and she was married, and then she was the only other single female. So like the guys are just because she wasn't even like
But remember, this is a small town, like on an island.
one.
Yeah,
one broad.
did you see the townie that was
Yeah.
there? Do you want to bang that horse's face?
I mean, there was one woman in the whole fucking movie besides someone. The other, so there's two. One was married, and there's the one single one in the whole town.
Good, let them die out.
And then, she
Well-
she wasn't even that hot as like a leading lady, and all the whole town's like
But
oh god.
you know what was
look at
interesting
her.
was that the one that was married was trying to get her hooked up with the other police officer, but
That was a little weird.
the female police officer was actually the one who solved a lot of the problems, even while shit faced. Like got the truck to escape, got the keys, actually blew the thing up,
Oh, yeah, she
hit it with
played
a
Ripley at the end.
bulldozer.
Yeah.
Had some of the witty one-liners.
She came in a big yellow vehicle,
and said, "Get away from him, you cunt."
which is just line for line from this movie. It really did just rip off every other movie before it. But you know what? At least I could have some fun with it because I was trying to find out. Like these people all look familiar, and I know some of them come from different British TV shows or British movies. Like the scientist guy was from Being Human. He was a voice from.
Some of them are janitors and shit like that. You know.
Yeah, I had some of them work at my house for a while.
Yeah, some of them are gardeners.
They wash the floors, but
Not well.
yeah,
but
it's
do
funny.
it.
These all these people in the right scene, in the right light, they kind of look like knockoff Hollywood characters or Hollywood actors. Like the female cop, especially in the scene when she had the straight hair and they were actually looking at the grabber for the first time.
Which female cop? Oh wait, there's only one.
Oh, yeah.
So the female cop.
Yeah, so I don't know why you're getting confused,
yeah,
dumbass.
Never mind. The
To be,
female cop.
to be fair, there were only like 3 police officers, and one of them went on vacation. So I mean, again, the whole argument it's a small island in an island nation. It's like it's its own small little isolated thing. Even the guy was like, "Yeah, we got to hold out till day, and then maybe they'll nuke the beaches or something like that. There's not a whole lot we can do here. It's just
So is she a police woman or a policeman? Like, what's the PC
police officer."
Yeah,
police
that's it.
officer?
An officer of the peace.
So anyway, what I was, man, fuck you. All right.
Police bride.
It's like, hey Martin, I see you have a bit. Fuck you.
Oh, what's the
Ding,
thing?
ding, ding. Yeah, but like there's only like 4 characters that you can like focus on. So the first one, the female cop, I'm like, she looks like an Irish Natalie Portman. Like they couldn't afford her, so they got this chick.
Do you think that's what the casting call said? It's like, are you Irish? They're like, yep. And they're like, do you resemble Natalie Portman very slightly? And then she's like, I do. Very slightly, in fact. And then,
It just so happens.
they were like, done.
Absolutely. And then the scientist, he looked like a budget Ewan McGregor.
So I can see that. It's a
Oh,
good
yeah.
call.
And that
Probably.
And that old man. All right, everyone's seen Gremlins, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, you know the other old man in Gremlins, Murray?
Oh,
Give
yeah.
him an Irish accent. Tell me that they're not the same fucking
Oh,
person.
yeah. Huh.
That guy had such a talking problem.
He really didn't know how.
He's like, I drink and the booze and that.
Yeah, but wasn't he drunk?
He was. He
So-
was absolutely drunk.
So
The
that
whole
is
time?
why.
So bravo,
I mean,
best performance.
yeah.
There were scenes where he was actually sober. at
Nope,
night. He was
never.
The same way.
Nope, no, he was drunk the entire time.
Well,
They even did tests on him.
well, you know.
I'm sobering up. Oh no. Yeah.
So the other thing I liked about this movie, though, so like the whole thing is to not get fucked up by these aliens. You have to be shit faced.
Yeah.
And so like when they figure that out, they go to the fucking
Bar.
raging alcoholic, and they go, he's like, I'll be the one that doesn't drink. And they're like, yes, you're super reliable not to fucking do that. You don't drink. You're the one that's going to lead us not
But the
drinking.
best part
we'll
is-
all drink.
He didn't drink.
He did drink, but literally like a scene before that, he's dumping vodka into his Cheerios for Christ's sake. And he's like, you know, like he's an alcoholic. And
Yeah, I mean, I was expecting shakes. I was expecting some sort of maybe seizures
Well,
here and
but
there.
that just
Yeah, he
goes
didn't
to-
shit his pants. I mean, what kind of
Not once.
alcoholic is this?
But that just goes to show you that if you really like want to save the day, you can just kick alcohol in a day.
Oh,
So
yeah.
anyone else who takes any longer than a day is just a pussy.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any lessons we can take away from this movie is that alcohol's not a real addiction because you can just kick it
yeah,
immediately,
exactly.
and you can drink and drive, and that's fine. Like,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
But she was a really good driver, except for when the script needed it.
She swerved left and right once or twice.
Yeah, once or twice. But I mean, who gives a
But
fuck?
she was
She
getting
awesome.
away from a fucking alien. Of course she's gonna swerve once or twice.
Yeah. So
She did have one of the most realistic reactions to this thing when the alien came around the corner. She was like, "Oh fuck this!" and beat it to the fucking car.
Yeah.
I'd probably do that.
Again, not a lot of crazy out of the way
Nope.
sort of stuff in this movie. Just relatively reasonable stuff.
All right, guys. So we're not the only people who think like this. I've been trying to comb through these reviews from all sorts of different sites. Most of them, mostly Netflix, because I'm a lazy piece of shit. Mm-hmm. But so I got them up right here. It's pretty much run of the mill. It's everything that we've been saying. Like I have this one up. Not a great movie, but fun to watch. No fancy camera work or bothersome flashbacks. So give your brain cells a little R&R, lower your expectations, and just enjoy.
it's from a Netflix review.
So is that about a good assessment of how you guys felt?
5 stars. Don't have to think. It was perfect.
But
Would
another
not think again. Is
You
that what-
would not think again.
another guy on Netflix. This is very apt for you guys.
Yeah.
Pretty boring film, but I didn't have the heart to turn it off.
I agree wholeheartedly with that one. 3 stars. Yeah.
What do they get like a quarter every
I-
time we play this,
I-
right? Can we?
I gave it 4 stars. As crazy as that sounds when I rated it.
Wow, that is
Not so
crazy.
much.
I gave it 3.
I felt that yes, it was boring, but it wasn't like I actually was fine with it. Like I wouldn't watch it again. But
Sure.
for what it was,
But by Netflix ratings, that's really like
That's
this. So
really
now it's
high.
going to give you suggestions like, do you like anal demons from Mars?
It's basically gonna say
I'm just
that.
glad.
Yes, I do like that.
I'm
Yeah,
just glad I didn't
5
rate
stars.
zombie ass. Is all I'm saying. Because
Why don't you give that shit a 1? You'll never see
Yeah,
anything
you
like
won't
that
see
again
anything but a
until
1.
you're on this show again. Then you'll have to worry about it.
I gave it a 5 because I want to trick someone else into watching. Fuck them. You know. That's,
Who the fuck you gonna? Who else is watching your
on
Netflix?
your Netflix account. Yeah.
oh, I steal my sister's, so
Oh, okay, that's amazing.
so her kids. So
Beautiful.
All right, so the title of this
The
next
zombie ass is gonna pop up on there. Once.
So the title of this next post was just called Irish Ghostbusters. Now, this guy didn't like it. He gave it a 4 out of 10. This is Bill CR12 from IMDb. And I read the review, and it just said it reminds him of it, but he doesn't clarify why. And then he goes to call Ghostbusters a piece of shit.
What the fuck?
yeah, Irish Ghostbusters sounds fucking awesome, and this was not Irish
This
Ghostbusters.
is definitely not Irish Ghostbusters.
Bill CR12 can suck a dick.
I don't even know what he calls it.
Probably is.
It's like, how do you hate Ghostbusters? Now, how do you like
is.
Grabbers better than Ghostbusters, even if you don't like them both equally? Well, of course, one would be like more. It just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Let's take a break.
But you know, it's not even just some assholes on the internet like us or fucking Bill CR12 who's just wrong. Like Roger
wrong.
Moore, who I see on Rotten Tomatoes a lot, and I thought he was a bigger guy than he was, but apparently he's a part of McClellan Tribune News Service.
It's like an elementary school newspaper.
He's like a 5th grader or something.
yeah, Martin's like, wow, Roger Moore really gave this a great review.
It's like, wait, isn't this the James Bond guy?
It is, I'm pretty sure.
It probably is.
He's one of the.
You
James
gotta
Bonds.
give him something to do.
But I don't think he
That'd be hilarious, though.
he didn't want to write what everyone else did because it's pretty obvious that it's, you know, a little boring. It's fine. You'll watch it and forget about it. So he said it's a traditional creature feature with a lot of diddly eye.
A touch of the diddly eye.
A touch of the. Is
Diddly
he
eye? Like eye?
either he's just blabbering nonsense or he was just racist.
Yeah, or I missed a scene where they were fucking kids or something. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
he
what-
must really like it.
There was a priest in there, remember?
Yeah, that's very true. I like this next one. They
And they-
sound pretty
and they-
confused.
They
All
threatened
right.
to throw the priest out there, by the way, in front of
So
him.
this was also, it was really hard to find 1 or 2 star reviews for this movie because, I mean, no one really hated it. They just didn't really like it.
Can I read it?
This, yeah, you know what, Charlie? Why don't you read this one?
For some reason, I couldn't get into this movie. It was a cheesy B flick. I can see why not. The movie was NR, not rated. It's not scary at all. The monsters look like an octopus with teeth.
all capitalized.
And that's all capital. Every time I read, I see someone wrote LOL, I insert someone laughing out loud. But so I like this because I think they're confused about the rating system. like they're watching that and they're like, "Oh, this is very scary." R, you know.
I don't know. What I'm getting from this guy is I just don't understand why he would rate it at all because it's very much like, I don't get it. 1 star. It's like, oh, well, why don't you just fucking pass on by? You just didn't get it. You don't have to say everything you don't get is bad. That's like, I didn't get Schindler's List. What were the Jews? What were the problems with them?
Why did they just
1
go
star.
away? Why did they just
1
leave?
star. 3 Men with a Baby. 5 stars. Schindler's List. 1 star.
That sounds about right.
1 star, 1 gold star.
Hanukkah guilt.
Wow, this movie's rated X. It must be fucking horrifying.
They do say cunt a lot. That's probably why it's.
You know what? I've been talking about the plot so much, but this one review really nailed it on the head. If you want to talk about formula, this guy, he has the roadmap right here. He says, this is Yola Hola, or Yola Ola, 1988. He gave it a 2 out of 10 on IMDb. No plot whatsoever. Beach, squid, drink at the bar at the end.
Yeah, he's got it right.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
Perfect.
I mean, what else can you say about this movie that we haven't already covered in the, 20 minutes that we've been talking?
Maybe.
Most of which might have been about Amazon.com reviews.
So, all right. So there was some good points. So there was the doctor's death was fucking pretty funny.
That was hilarious.
Because you just, this movie's so formulaic that you just expected it to just reach out and fucking just grab onto his face and just kill him like it's normally going to kill him.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, it's an animal, don't worry about it, blah, 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 blah. And he fucking, the thing just hits him with his tentacle and makes it go flying.
He flies like to the moon. It's amazing.
And he just dies and no one gives a shit, too. I love that, too. They're
Team
just like,
Scientist is blasting off again.
no one cared at all. That was
Nope.
the best
Yeah,
part.
they looked a little
Surprised,
doughy-eyed and
yeah.
like, hey, let's turn around, and we don't want that to happen to us.
Actually, that might have been the only memorable scene in the movie, but the only good quote in the movie. This movie is not quotable. No. He says, they're asking him why, and he's fucking shit-faced, and he has a camera. He's like, I need a photograph of it for National Geographic and Facebook.
Here's one of the memorable quotes from IMDb. Carta Lisa Nolan. Get away from him, you cunt.
Yeah, that's
That
what.
was the thing at the
That's when
end.
the bulldozer.
Here's another memorable one. I can't feel my face. That was Dr. Adam Smith.
I thought that was me while I was watching it.
See, I like there was two that I liked that I thought were funny. One, and they mentioned it on there, which is, what killed him, Jim? The fact he's just ahead.
Yeah.
That didn't make me laugh. Yeah.
Doctor, we really need to know. I don't know. A tiger? They're not even fucking trying.
Yeah, they even
He's
looked
dead,
at
Jim.
him too, like, really? A tiger? The other one was, obviously, get away from him, you cunt, when she hits him with the bulldozer. Mm-hmm. And then when she lights it off, she's like, shut your hole.
Oh, that was so stupid. I loved it.
Yeah,
Gotta have some sort of like one-liner before you murder the monster or the robot or whatever.
Like, all the jokes in the movie are, like, acceptable ones that maybe you'll, like, you amuse you on the inside, but you won't laugh outside. Like, this conversation. Well, it looks like it looks like it's going to be a nice day. There's a storm coming. Oh? Are the gulls flying low or something? No, it was on the telly.
No, it was on the telly.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hi, did I die?
Yeah, you look at that and you go, huh.
Get away from me, Lucky Charms.
That's the most reaction you're going to get out of the movie. Oh.
Yeah.
The jokes don't necessarily fail, they just don't
They
explode.
Right.
They fall flat.
Yeah.
Here's a quote right here. The traditional Irish greeting of
Slanty.
I'm not Gaelic, so I'm not even.
Slanty.
There's gonna be like somebody watching this, like they don't fucking know what is wrong.
Sliante. I don't know. It sounds fucking racist, whatever it is. I don't know what it is. But,
Typical American scumbags just can't say a word that the rest of England knows.
Yeah,
I'm specifically saying England.
Gotta
There's gonna be someone in Pakistan just like, it's Lante.
But yeah, I mean, overall, big bowl of vanilla ice cream.
Oh,
the best thing was that it wasn't retarded. So
Oh yeah, no.
Which is funny. You're on for this one. Meanwhile, the one you should have been on would have been Blood-Sucking Freaks, because you're the one who showed me that movie.
right, which is the most fucked up movie ever, or one of them anyway. It's the closest thing to a snuff film you're ever gonna fucking see.
Yeah, but so I'm like, hey, Charlie, here's the one that like we sat down, we fucked people with. Well, we didn't literally fuck them with it, although there were times where I wanted to snap the disc in half and do it to some of your roommates. But we would fuck with I keep saying I want to fuck people with this goddamn DVD.
You'd mess with people?
Well,
Yeah, I would mess with people, or Charlie would mess with people by just leaving it on while they woke up. So, we have a lot of...
Which isn't a nice thing to do to someone.
It's really not. It's almost like
They walk out like somebody's head is getting skull fucked.
Especially when they're a little uptight to begin with.
But yeah, there's a lot of memories attached to it, especially with us two. And what do? Nope, you're not going to be on that one. You're going to watch Retarded, and you're going to watch
Yeah.
Grabbers,
Grabbers.
the movie about the alcohol monsters from space.
Yeah, I mean, interesting concept. Maybe it would have been a good short film. You know?
Oh yeah, definitely short film.
Yeah, maybe like 10 minutes. This would have
You
still
know what,
been
I
a
could say,
charming
like,
concept.
Maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah,
20
yeah,
minutes.
I said
Yeah, okay.
I would even go so far as a half
Half hour?
hour. Yeah.
You're fucking crazy. I would have lost that a half hour. 20 minutes.
Do I heit 35, 36?
See, 'cause,
Do I hear it?
the first 10, 15 minutes of the movie was nothing.
Yeah, I actually
A
have
guy
that in my
falls
notes.
off boat. Then they meet up for a little while, and then they're driving around, and they show that he's an alcoholic still.
Yeah, Judge Odds, Alligator, Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of nothing for the first 15, 20 minutes, and then it's
He's dead, Jim.
Yeah, it becomes a little charming after a half hour. That's what I have in my notes. Like
Very
I,
little.
Yeah, like in the last act, I actually wrote down that I want to party with Irish people, but then I realized I did, and I guess I'm done with life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was kind of a fun moment too. Like again, it was kind of a very flat moment where they're at the church and it's like, come to the party, and they're like, no, and they're like, yes, like no, they're like, there's gonna be an open bar. They're like, oh, okay, we're going now, and then that's.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, people do that, right? Like, if you go anywhere,
Well, apparently they do that in Ireland. They really stick to the stereotypes in this fucking movie.
No, but
Right.
but that's the thing. Like, even if it's not for this, if it just say you were out on the street and be like, hey, open bar. You could get whatever you want. People would come.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
It's
Yeah,
true,
no,
yeah.
you're right.
You don't have to be Irish to do that. I mean,
Paul, when you're right, you're right.
I like drugs.
Paul Moore, not Paul Thresher,
I do.
for the record.
the record is set.
Okay.
Who?
And then I like that there was one road in the whole entire town. There's just a single road, and that was it.
That sounds right for backwater.
I believe it.
village.
There wasn't even 2 lanes. It was 1 lane, and hopefully no one was coming the other way. There was 1 lane. There was 1 single woman, and there was 1 road. That was it. There was just one of
Because they only
everything
had
in
the
this
one
fucking
car.
town.
Yeah, and half of that road went through the mountain, so it's just like a dirt trail, but you still have to use it.
And what was the science guy like doing? There's like, yeah, there's a lot of interesting things going on in this backwoods fucking hick. And then
Probably the whales.
the
Probably
whales. Yeah, I don't know.
Nothing.
Pretty much.
He was doing nothing.
Yeah, he was part of the story, was he?
Yeah, he was the guy that
definitely
the
part
script
of the
said was
story.
there.
Well, that's cool.
Yep. All right. So
Is this revenge? Because I technically picked this because I was on the last one.
I thought it was me that picked this.
Well, we voted on it,
True.
and
So it was-
and this came
yeah.
up, but I don't know. I feel bad almost.
Can I?
for-
well,
Can I pick the next one? I pick a haunted house too.
well, it's not.
no, fuck you. I get the list. All right, but before we get to picking anything,
Yeah.
I want to hear your final thoughts on this. So, in 3 to 5 words, sum up this movie, Mr. Moore.
Z Z Z Z Z Z Z alternating capital and lowercase.
Okay,
Those are a couple words.
I think that's all. I think it's technically 1 word. All right, that's good enough. Charlie, 3 to 5 words. How would you describe this movie?
I think I have numerous times already, but big bowl of vanilla ice cream, maybe a little bit of mayonnaise on top, and that's about it.
What?
Ugh.
Bland.
Bland but disgusting.
bland and disgusting. Something I want no part of ever again.
I don't think it was just. All right.
All right, Paul, 3 to 5 words.
It was fun to try once.
Meh the movie.
You know, I try to find a quote in each movie that describes itself, and this time was really hard because, as you can see, it's not very quotable. So if I had to say anything, I would say, "So it's a goodbye party." Whatever.
Hashtag this movie is not quotable.
Yeah. All right. So I have 3 movies up here. One of these movies is going to be what everyone else has to watch. Well, the next show. So you guys have to pick one. Of course, the more votes, that's the one that we're going to pick.
This is where Martin makes us cage fight, and the winner gets to pick the next movie.
Yep. All right.
I'm up for it.
So the first one is called FDR American Badass. It's a movie where FDR wins World War II by defeating Nazi werewolves.
Oh my.
The next one is called
Oh
The
my.
Baby. It's about a social worker who visits a white trash family, including a grown man who wears diaper, and somehow it's rated PG.
What?
Then there's the movie Hardware. After the apocalypse, an artist finds a robot head that manages to bring itself back to life. Being a 90s movie, it probably tries to kill everyone.
I already know what I'm going to vote.
Okay, so
Oh man, I wish you had length of the movies on here because that would play a big part.
I'd
of
like
this.
to say something about one of these movies.
yeah.
I'm actually torn because of the between 2 of them, but one of them I'd like to talk about is FDR American Badass. Barry Bostwick from Spin City, who played the mayor, is FDR in this movie, and it's like the first movie he's done since that show's like ended, I think.
Pretty successful career.
Oh, yeah.
sounds like yeah.
But
I mean, he's
I'm
an
not.
American badass.
Is F like can I ask questions about like is FDR like in like a wheelchair? Is he
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So I can already say that 1 and 3 sound actually interesting. So screw you guys in the next podcast, number 2.
That's what
fuck
actually.
you.
That's actually the one I was torn about.
All right, Paul, what are you going to pick?
Oh fuck. Well, since I'm going to probably be watching it, I'm going to be picking FDR American Badass. I do want to see the baby because of the torture.
Because you're a sick fuck.
And I love the baby, the grown men baby thing. But I think FDR American Badass is...
The baby sounds like a really long episode of America's Funniest Home Videos. Like I just don't want to.
Or that weird taboo show, wherever it is, where they have
Yeah, taboo. I'm addicted to shitting my pants with a diaper on. Yeah.
There is one of those, actually. Something like that, yeah.
You got to be kidding me.
There's
It
one
is
where
from
people
the
dress up
Learning
like
Channel, I
babies.
guarantee it.
Yeah.
Well,
People
color
dress-
me red. I am embarrassed because that actually exists.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking when I said that.
America's embarrassed too.
world.
Charlie, you're like the tiebreaker.
I
Unless
know.
You gotta do
fucker.
the baby.
I'm torn.
Make them pay.
I'm not
Make
doing
them
the
pay.
baby.
Make them pay.
Well, you don't have to do anything next episode. It's our
Barry
whole new
Bostwick, man.
Paul and I are like the only two people who will return, unless you want to come back.
I might come back. I might want to. Oh God! So it's between FDR American Badass and Hardware for me, but I think FDR American Badass has the most potential.
Oh God, thank you and fuck you, Paul.
You goddamn wrench in the cogs.
I've already done 2 of these. I don't want to do another one. So here you go. Here's the biggest piece of shit you have.
Yep.
I don't mind doing another podcast.
Oh, you are going to just for payment for that.
Yeah, but I just wanted to try and make whoever's next suffer.
Well, I think we got our movie.
Yeah, all right. So that's it. Next episode, which will be, I think, for June. FDR, American Badass. And until then, fuck off. That's it for now. You can listen to more episodes on iTunes, Stitcher, or YouTube. If you have any comments, recommendations, or just some good old-fashioned hate mail, email the show at wdijwpodcast@gmail.com. Follow me on Twitter at SomeJerkFB or on Tumblr at SomeJerkFromBoston. If you're just bored and want a distraction. I know I procrastinate a lot, so, I mean, the chances of me replying are pretty high. So until next time, remember, outside of Japan, rolling tentacle monsters trying to penetrate you are not normal. Until next time, adios.